So welcome to Shop Talks. Got Dov Charney here, my friend, and great innovator in the industry, and often maligned, but really good guy. And we're going to talk about garment trends now and future. Got to thank my sponsors, Hanes Impressions, who puts on the show and has a magazine, and I'm from the Ink Kitchen, which is a source of free information. Got a great, actually, old tour that we did of his factory you should check out sometime. And we're going to talk a little bit about this. I'm going to ask a few questions, and we're going to open it up to all of you if you want to ask some questions. All right, Dov.
How you doing?
All right, man. So, what's going on in fashion? I know, like last year, we talked about heavier garments, and you know what? I see that you were right about that. There's a lot of different things. So, what's going on now? What's going to be happening? What do you see?
The short sleeve element of the t-shirt is widening, and it's going down.
Yeah.
It's going down to the elbow crease. That's going to be a big move. Higher necks, wider collars.
High crew.
Super high crew, Stedman. We're robbing them.
Wow.
The Stedman super high crew was big in the mid 90s.
It was like a surfing thing to start with, right?
It started in California, the higher crews. The company got bought by Hanes.
Fucked up.
I don't think Hanes did a good job managing them. But the super high crew and high crew, I'm controlling the high crew market right now. I have the best high crew. I think there's a couple competitors out there that are throwbacks. There's Pro Club, there's this, there's that. But we've got the high crew down. We're a wider fit. We think we have the best fit, the 1801. But that's a lead shirt right now. That's a shirt, as you know, 30 singles. I really catalyze the 30 single t-shirt. Most of the t-shirts in this building are 30 single t-shirts.
Yes.
But I think there's a move away from the thinner shirt. As you go wider, you need to have a thicker shirt, or it just drapes
weird
foolishly, you know? Tighter shirts were big in the 70s. They were big in 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were big, but right now we're going to looser shirts, thicker shirts. I think long sleeves are on. I think the zip hoodie's going to come back a little bit. That's been out for a while.
Right.
So, but I also think garment dye is very strong. We're seeing in California, like a lot of the independent manufacturers that compete with me, everybody's on garment dye.
My friend's a garment dyer in New Hampshire, and he just can't do enough.
I think we have to have a moment of silence for Barry T. Chouinard.
Yeah, man.
Yes. I remember seeing Barry Chouinard in Vermont. Comfort Colors, he's the founder. Of course, he passed away, sold it to Gildan. But I remember seeing Barry Chouinard, all the mid-'90s stuff.
He said he knew you before American Apparel, like you were selling socks or something. Is that true?
He knew me when it was... Because when I used to bring the t-shirts to Canada, the concept of American Apparel was to bring t-shirts to the Canadian market. And I was actually buying Hanes and Fruit Loom and just flipping it. I was buying Hanes beefy tees, irregulars. That was my business. I was bringing them to Montreal, and they were getting garment dyed in Montreal. I was flipping them to... That's when I was first exposed to garment dyeing, was in grade 11, and I was importing them. I was bringing in the IRs. Used to buy them, like they were underpriced. I'd import them to Canada and then resell. I'd sell them to garment dyers, and there was a whole, notion of garment dye tees at that time. That whole thing is coming back.
Garment dyeing.
Yeah, and I think that is that Hanes 5000 right there? Who's that? I can't see you. I'm pointing at you. Yeah, what's your name? I can't see you. Is it you? Hang on. Sorry, I thought you were somebody else. There's this guy I know. No, I don't have my glasses on. There's this guy I know. No, one of the most exciting things in the history of the t-shirt business.
Actually, one of the most exciting things in Shop Talks is the misidentification of an audience member.
So there's this guy, I forgot his name, I thought it was him, but he reminds me of the guy that started when Hanes, the sponsor, decided they had to make the Hanes beefy tee because they needed it for the print industry, and the underwear tee wasn't good enough. It was Ocean Pacific said, we need a thick T-shirt for our surf shirts, and it was called Hanes 5000. Then it became what's known to be Hanes Imprintables, and is the whole basis for this room is basically the beefy tee.
Yeah.
Initially, it was called Hanes 5000, and they flipped the name to Hanes Imprintables, and that was the infancy. But that was the first run of thicker shirts.
I'll have you know I'm in the Beefy T Hall of Fame.
You are?
I am.
Whoa. Okay. Anyway, so no, the BPT is what got me in the business.
It's still a great T-shirt, actually.
Well, I think it's been changed so many times.
Yes.
It's like, you know, there's certain style numbers that are really important in the garment industry. The imprintable garment industry is fantastic because it's really a reflection of what the American apparel industry was, which was about constant manufacturing of the same style, like Levi's 501 or the Hanes 5180.
Yeah.
Which is, and I think the American Apparel 2001 will always be remembered as something important. And now the next thing that I'm trying to do in my career is the two things that I'm leading on is the 1801, number one. Everybody's gonna know in this building what an 1801 is. And then the second thing is the HF09, my hoodie, that I think has meaning.
Is that like 16 ounce or something? What is that?
It's 14 ounces per square yard, okay? I'm sorry, it's not 16. Cool down.
It's heavy, though.
Calm down.
Heavy.
Okay. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's the inspiration is very clear. You know, it's vintage. When I arrived in Somerville, Massachusetts, Medford, Massachusetts, to Tufts University, and before that, Choate Rosemary Hall, my high school, in Wallingford, Connecticut, everybody in my world, which was, you know, rich kids or poor kids on scholarship, it was the champion side.
Reverse weave.
Reverse weave.
Yes.
Which I don't even like the reverse weave anymore. I think my shit's better. I don't like the notion of reverse weave. I think they wanted to control the linear shrinkage, so they flipped it. You know, it was but I launder. That's another thing is the great thing about garment dyeing right now, and the great thing about what I'm doing with HF09, I'm laundering, I'm washing every roll before we cut and sew it. So it doesn't have the shrinkage. And I remember the reverse weave shrank about 20% linear. It was really weird. You'd buy it to here. I think the garments now that are being made are better. The garments that I'm making and some others are making, let's say.
I got reverse weave sweatshirts. They don't shrink like that anymore.
Right, but forget it. I'm talking about the OG.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about what it is now. What American Apparel is now after it was bought by Gildan, or what Champion is now after it's bought by Hanes, is not the same thing. The authenticity is gone. By the way, a movie everybody should watch about our industry. The fashion industry is the cousin of the imprintable industry. This room is the imprintable industry. We're our own segment. But did you see the Von Dutch document?
Yet, no.
It's good. It's good. Bunch of fuck ups. Love them all. I know them all. And I'm a fuck up too, by the way. I don't know if you bleep this shit out or what, but anyway. But what's happening in the industry, I think, is we're reinterpreting the 90s, but the quality is even higher.
Right, so it's a high crew, but it's not the same high crew that was the Stedman shirt.
It's even better. It's even better.
So what's driving this?
What's driving it?
All the people that I think
the music industry. I think the music industry is driving it. I think
they got to sell shirts because they don't sell music anymore.
Oh, I think the independent, like you were saying, or if it was you or someone was saying about how the big brands are losing their grip, that new ideas are coming from independent brands. And I sell tons of independent brands, and I'm happy they buy from me, and I'm happy to collaborate with them. But people want oversize right now. But you know, I remember.
That's funny because I have a couple YouTubers, like, you know, that they wanted like big, heavy.
But
shirts.
another way is to buy a Gildan garment, XXL, crop it or remake. I saw one guy buy this oversized garment. Like, I don't know who. I saw him yesterday. He's like a 3XL Gildan, but he then hemmed it. He had a draw cord, and he really
Wow.
remanufacturing
That's a
is
lot
a
of
big
work.
trend too. To take like a commodity product,
Yeah.
and reflip it.
Because at the same time, decoration's gone wild. It's not like just direct to film, direct to garment. There's transfers. Like there's a million kinds of
Okay,
transfers.
first of all, low
So
price.
it's all going crazy.
Low price is over. You don't need low price because a garment you get for $3 versus a garment you get for $8. You could make more money buying a garment at $8 right now than playing in the $3 market and having trash. Okay, and what is an $8 garment? It's a Gildan tee washed, or it's a Los Angeles Apparel tee, or whatever. It's something special, and then what you do to it, and how you distress it, and how you print it, and how you scratch it, how you rip it, or how you repackage it, or what you sell it adjacent to. Kids are gonna buy what they wanna buy, and there's money in the system. Young adults have money, and they will spend $100, $200, $300, $400 on something they want, and you could show them something for $12, and they just, no, it's okay, keep it, I don't want it.
Do you think also that because people can get information that helps somebody like you that has, a factory here for real, and how you treat your people and stuff? Because it seems like younger people are doing more research before they buy something.
I think how things are made are important. And I think workplace sustainability is more important than environmental sustainability. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
I think environmental sustainability is important, but a lot of it's greenwashing, truthfully speaking. Like, I don't know
But even farming is a labor issue. I mean, organic, like the farm workers get poisoned if it's not organic,
On the other hand, how do we know that synthetic pesticides are poisoning people? Like, there's a science to it, It's like you have to, like a lot of things, it sounds sustainable, or what is not perceived as sustainable might be more sustainable than what is perceived as sustainable. For example, an organic pesticide can be more detrimental to the environment than a synthetic pesticide. But there's not a lot of science. It's very superficial, unfortunately.
It's complicated also.
It's extremely complicated. Plastic bags, paper bags, which one's better? It's complicated. But what I can tell you, like going back to trend, if you go back to what's really going on right now, people care how it's made. But what kids really want right now, what the market really wants, and it's young adults that are driving everything, they want amazing stuff. And that's what they want to buy. And that's it. If it's amazing, they're buying. And I also think that the market is not only one way. It kind of reminds me of when I was when I first came to the United States from Montreal. I went to Cho Rosemary Hall, which is my dad. I said, Dad, I want to move to the States. That's how I went.
That's right. You're an alien, huh?
I am an alien. I came.
Proud alien.
I loved it. I came on the train, USA. Anyway, so when I got to Wallingford, Connecticut, there was, there were these rich kids that were they were buying, LL Bean, Land's End, schleppy, oversized. But then the girls that were in the dining hall serving in the cafeteria, they were wearing tight, driving Corvettes or Trans Ams with their boyfriends. But those two looks are on right now. Like one of the
part of it is everything goes right now, right?
Everything goes, but you could have like oversized pants and a tight top, and then the same girl the next day could wear an oversized tee and tight pants. So there is also a reversal to the oversized trend, but definitely generous fits, good quality products. Cotton is in, cotton's on. The whole performance thing is gonna suffer, right? I like Under Armour blanks. Like, no one wants to wear a polyester shirt, moisture wicking. Fuck off, it's not true, it stinks, it's dirty, it's polyester. No, people want cotton.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Like, who wants to wear one of those poly, like, sublimation tees, please? Get over it. Yeah, I think screen printing's in, big time.
Really?
Real authentic screen printing, not DTG, not sublimation, not transfers, but well done screen printing. That's really that's the new drug. That authentic, homemade, in one color prints, and but puff, different textures. But then sometimes that techno shit can be good too. The new transfers, flocking, you can mix it up.
More and more, you're not able to tell. I took a transfer at one of the shows around to my vendors that are real advanced. I said, what do you think of this print? I didn't do it.
I think authentic screen printing is back, and the whole sublimation's definitely out. Sublimation is not happening. Polyester shirts, I don't think, are on. Like, I had a sublimation tee when I started Los Angeles Apparel. Like, we have, if anybody wants to buy a closeout, we got some. I mean, I'm out. I'm not trying to put down people involved, I'm just telling you how I see it. But
you can put them down. It's all right.
Thick cotton is on. Like, forget about 30 singles. Who's the first one that's really going to drive? Could be me, might be somebody else. 14 single tees, 12 single tees. 18s is the new lightweight. It's not 30s, it's not 40s. At the same time, there's still, whatever trend goes this way, there's always a reversal. I think, like, I might launch, one of the new things I might launch, a kind of long staple 30 single tee, that's really has no, like, I'm talking about, like Supima, but I don't see Supima as soft, I see it as unhairy, like not having, if you look at a shirt, this is a little,
That's, printers want that. That'll drive some of that.
Right.
Hairy is
but
bad.
I do think high collars are on. I don't think like an open collar on a guy. That's, when a guy shows up like one of the old open collars in a tight sleeve. Like,
is there someone out there we can pick on?
There's one booth. I don't want to say which one, but the photo on the booth was so bad. It's like sending it to everybody. Like, look at this brother. I'm not. I sent it to my friend Rick Klotz of Fresh Jive, who's been in the t-shirt industry since, when I moved to Los Angeles in 1997, I moved in his house, and I was like, look at how funny this is. But.
All right, take that to the bank. No scoop necks.
Yeah, but shit comes back, man. Whatever you hate, the more you hate it, the more it's going to come back in 12 years.
Well, it's funny, actually, right? Crew neck sweatshirts, couldn't sell them for a while, then they came back. Zip, everybody
non-zips.
Everybody
People
wanted a
didn't
zip.
Want non-zip. Everybody, when we did F497, known at Los Angeles Apparel's F97, and we took out, it was all zip, 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 zip.
Yeah.
We had that going. Now, like, zips are wah, wah, wah. But they're coming back. They're actually, HF10, our zip one, is coming home. And we also have the HF16 as a zip for women.
So what colors, like garment dyed, you got a lot more control of it. What kind of colors people looking at?
I think pigment dyes are good. Defects are hot too. Like, who cares if it's defective? Misprints are hot. Like, the humanity, seriously, misprints, misprints are interesting. Like, anything that has personality.
We actually used to sell, we had test shirts. Like, we'd screw something up, test all over. Someone used to buy them and sell them. Maybe that'll come back.
Yeah, holes are in, like screwed up pieces, not throwing that stuff out, almost putting a sticker on the garment and saying, it is messed up. That's why we're charging more.
I like this trend.
No, but it's real because, I only wear damages at this point. It doesn't matter a little hole. It's interesting. You know who was the king of that at Fred Segal stores in the mid-90s? I remember John Ashaya, who's one of the smartest men in the apparel industry, said, he's like running this. Fred Segal was the coolest store in Los Angeles, probably 1993, 1994. I remember meeting Doc Severance there. I met all kinds of celebrity. Whenever I come to Los Angeles to visit, I go straight to Fred Segal's on Melrose. Oh, yeah. But I remember, I said, hey, these things have holes in them. He goes, oh, people love it. It's better. It shows the true humanity of the garment. It's like they're $200 garments then,
It's like Tibetan monks make those mandalas, and there's got to be an error in it, or it can't be perfect.
Exactly. I think, damages are interesting. One-of-a-kinds are interesting. I think that's big. And people are willing to
you don't
pay.
do it, but people actually are You know, we had people on earlier today that are manufacturing in small batches and able to do that affordably. So some of that's happening.
All small batch stuff is hot, small quantities, made in a home, whatever. Here, this is actually a trend. This pair of sweatpants, I don't sell them yet because of the raw materials shortage, but tight bands. A sweatpant with a band has to be like very wide. It has to be wide or no band at the bottom. Like the tight sweatpant like this.
Well, everybody was wearing
Joke-a-thon. Get out. You're not welcome to the bar mitzvah. Out. You can't come. No Sweet 16 for you.
Sweatpants are in, aren't they? They're going to stay in for a while.
Sweatpants, elastic waistbands are not going away for a long time.
Not with all that COVID weight gain.
Any wealthy guy I know, and I know a couple wealthy guys, I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been broke, I'm coming back, I'm trying, I'm out, I'm in, I'm getting sued, whatever. Okay, but I've had the ability to hobnob with the rich and famous in Los Angeles, some of the most wealthy celebrities in the world, and yeah, I don't see any of them wearing any ties. Toasted. They want to be comfortable. That's what's on. Comfort wear, pockets, things that have
If you're rich, why would you want to wear a tie?
I don't know. If I was rich, just run around naked, like whatever. But
well, when you were rich, I saw you had your shirt off actually.
It happens.
Running around the factory.
I don't have to talk about it now, but it happens. Okay. But yeah, I think comfort, utility, fairly made, no one's getting hurt, like even Bangladesh, made in Bangladesh, but that the workers are getting paid a fair wage. That would be interesting. Like if I did made in Mexico, and I think about it, I like Mexico, I feel Mexico's our neighbor, our brother. We're involved in, USMCA, NAFTA, whatever. Like made in Mexico is not bad, it's good. But if I were to do made in Mexico, like, hey, $6, $7, $8 an hour, this idea of $10, $12, $15, $20 a day is not cool.
It's kind of ridiculous, actually. I remember going to El Salvador in a factory that people were making like 60 cents an hour, right? And if they made $1.20, they were good. It's like you sold like 12 shirts an hour or something, right? Is that about right?
Per person?
Per person, something like that. I remember Marty telling me that.
Well, yeah, I got my numbers, let's say, last night.
It was something like that.
I think
so. Anyway, you're
about,
talking about a nickel a shirt, except they all
you
get
could do
stepped
20.
on.
A person sews in Los Angeles, like a properly trained team,
right?
Where they're a little bit passionate.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What's
It's at least 12 though.
Hang on. About 200 per 8 hours. Yeah, 200. What's 200 divided by 8? Anybody have a calculator?
Great moments in shop talks when everyone got out their calculator.
25 shirts.
Oh, that's good.
25 shirts. So yeah, you could pay a little. I think it'd be exciting to have this offshore. I think people should just put on their label or in their catalog what the worker's making per hour. That's it. And no, I'm serious. I think it could be a trend. Like we pay minimum $15 an hour. That's it. That's the minimum wage in Los Angeles, but it's a very high minimum wage. I supported the $15. We went from 10 to 15.
It is more complicated than that because there's also benefits and all that.
You could add that in though.
Yeah,
you could add in.
Yeah.
We have sick days in Los Angeles. You could mark that up. You could mark up.
Yeah.
You could mark up if there's health insurance.
It'd be good if there was a standard.
There could be a formula, but
I mean, a standard for how you were able to talk about it.
It's interesting to know that the workers are making 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 instead of like 50 cents, 1 or 2. But that's again, that's flavor to the whole thing. It's all part of a big pie. The thing is that products are made with a little bit of love, a little bit of care, and a little bit of integrity. That's on that people think about the fit. Like my 1801, I even make small millimeter adjustments to it all the time. Just, it would be a little bit better if this was, because there's cutoff on the sewing machine. So the pattern the sample was there and the pattern was there, but when people are rolling, don't forget, a team of 10 does 2,000 t-shirts a day. You were saying what one person would make.
I know.
So when they're doing 2,000 pieces a day, their hand might cut a piece off. like at the end here. This often gets cut by a ½ inch. That's a 1 inch in the round. So if you want that wider, you gotta make it, maybe have to make it a little wider than you ordinarily want because the people are going so fast. Automation's gonna be huge. Trying to figure out automation, where it didn't really make sense before, it has to make sense because there's not enough workers in the world. There's actually not, it's over because of birth rates. Like Mexico's gonna be rich as their birth, it's natural as they have less children. My grandpa, my Zeta, he's like probably would be 125 now. I mean, he had like 14 brothers and sisters. He was like a family of 14. I don't know if I have one child, we'll be lucky.
I had your share.
Pardon me?
I had your share. I raised 11.
You have 11?
I raised 11 kids.
You have 11 kids?
No, I raised 11 kids.
Well, you raised, but you didn't, birth that.
Tom's got 7.
Go ahead.
All right, how about some questions, yeah? Who has a question? Garments,
Go ahead.
colors.
I think Pantone really does good. Like they usually tell you what's coming, and I don't look at that, but usually the colors that pop are later colors I saw that Pantone predicted.
Which is what, green this year or something?
I think pastels are, a lot of weird colors are on right now. But I think, honestly, right now I feel it's rainbow time. You can go, it's not as like clear what's going on, but I love pastels. I like neons, but not the obvious ones. A little washed out could be cooler. I think washed out pigment colors. I think it's so hard to say. It's so hard to say. I don't know. I don't have a perfect view on that. I think variety is fun and mixing it up. But I don't know. What do you think, Jonathan? Yeah.
So if you couldn't hear that, there's a lot of different applications
dyed
of color.
improperly is interesting. Dyed improperly, like patchy, like almost like we couldn't afford the right stuff. It's inconsistent.
That's the equivalent of the distressed print, which we all love because you can't screw it up.
Distressed, like economical, easy, maybe not the black.
Tie-dye?
I don't want to wear a black t-shirt. I want to wear off black.
How about tie-dye?
Tie-dye is hot. I think tie-dye is hot, but that's an art. Like she's not here with us, but I have this woman named Annie, and we're working on thinking about tie-dye a little bit. But tie-dye is super hot right now. Super hot, but the right tie-dye. If it's too kind of out of the box tie-dye or off tie-dye is not on. It's kind of like music. It's got to be right or you turn the radio off, But the right music, you ever listen to the song that just makes you feel good?
All right, so
Yeah.
tie-dyed big shirt with a high collar and sweatpants. That's the look?
And wide legs. The tight legs are over. Yeah. Flared pants are on. I'm not there personally, but I think wide legs are on. I think that will last
Looking
longer
around
than
for
flare.
flares.
And thick fabrics. Yes. There could be, but there could be.
So if you didn't hear, the question was, is there going to be longer shirts like thigh?
Okay, so the sleeves are going to be wider. They're going to be longer. The width of the shirt's going to be wider. The collar's going to be higher. The collar's going to be tighter, and it's going to become the norm. But then, how long does it go? I think if it goes too long, it will be temporary. But I think a 30 to 31 inch long from the high point, extra large is where it's going to be at. I also think one size, remember the one size period?
Oh my God.
In 94, 95 was only like one size. For like promotional, people started doing one size.
It was amazing. All extra large.
Extra large only. But the extra large then was like what a large is now.
Yeah.
Because it was a little, all the mills were a little narrow because they were trying to save money. It wasn't that, and then everybody said, screw it, just extra large only. I think you could do large only right now and probably get away with covering most of the market. Like most people, I wear a large, a young girl could wear a large. Large is almost 60 to 70. You could do large and extra large almost right now and get away with it.
Really?
I think so. Small and for promotional product, you don't really need the small. I think small is going to be stressy.
Other questions?
I have a request. Can I get you on the record one more time your thoughts about screen printing?
Screen printing?
Thoughts about screen printing?
I think authentic, well-done screen printing where people really try, whether it's thick plastisol or water-based or trying to do good quality screen printing, I think that's on where it's, and there's a lot, screen printing's fast now with the automatic screens and, the automatic presses and the setup times are lower. I think it's competing with DTG, I think quality screen printing is going to be a trend, like really well done, properly positioned, the artwork well done. I think there's some, that was that. I repeated that for you.
All right, cool.
What was the name of that Von Dutch movie?
The Von Dutch movie.
I don't know. But you can look it up. Documentary on Von Dutch. The Mike Cassell's on there, who's a friend of mine. A lot of Christian Odiger was a friend of mine. He passed away in 2015. They're all nuts, but all smart guys. There was the guy, I forgot, one of the founders that worked with Mike was on it. I was taking pictures of the screen, just the way he's wearing the garments. It was pretty fascinating what they pulled off. Who else? Go.
Any place
I
for
think
three-quarter
three-quarter's
arm?
hot.
Let some people here. Is there any market for three-quarter length, like a baseball type,
I think the tight raglan baseball is a no unless it's for girls, or women, or whatever you want to say, whatever. Got it. Trans. Okay. Anyway, so, but the three-quarter sleeve, like a big oversized three-quarter, it's scary for the manufacturers to do it because there'll be a lot of volatility associated to the demand, but there is demand for it. The question is if the blank guys in this industry want to take that chance to stock it, because it'll be in, out, but it's definitely something that's happening. And I have three business streams. I have one, I sell to consumers directly. That's like a $25 t-shirt. The second one I do imprintable where people buy out of inventory. The third thing I do is I do complex custom orders. And in my complex custom orders for various large-scale t-shirt users, we've had demand for three-quarters. So it is a trend.
Right on. All right.
BB401. All right.
All right.
I'll buy them back from you. I'll pay triple. He was saying that he wants to thank me that he has some old American Apparel garments named the BB401, and they're still in his drawer. Fantastic. They're indestructible.
They don't fit them anymore. That's why they're in his
drawer. They're not even biodegradable. Don't throw them out. I mean, you'll be damaging global warming. Okay.
All right. Other questions? No questions?
We good? Well, I don't have anything else to say unless you got a question. Go ahead.
Ringers.
I was thinking about that last night in the last few days. Colored ringers on baby tees for girls is gonna be hot. 4311 American Apparel when we had the colored, the crew necks with the colored, the 4308 tank top with the colored, white with red, white with navy, white with yellow, white blah, 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 white with white with black is all gonna be on. I gotta push them through and make them, and if I don't, somebody else is. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. And then you could match the print or not, or do you can have like a navy print with red contrast.
You're getting into footwear.
Okay, he works with me. This is a scam. Okay, we have a slider. We make a slider, and it's printable. And I'm stocking them. And I think, how much are they, Pat? $8. I think it's kind of cool because Schleppy is in, Relax is in, Work from Home was in, Driving the car with sandals to 7-Eleven to pick up cigarettes is in. Okay. So
All right, now I'm getting the full picture. So
right, Schlepp shoes.
do I have this right? So an ill-fitting, a loose-fitting large T-shirt with a high neck and a big-ass sleeve
Yeah.
and sweatpants that
Yeah.
are tied
Oversized. Size up.
and schleppy shoes.
Size up
Is this what
in.
we're gonna see?
Size up is in.
This is it, and all one size, big.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
Everybody needs to wear one size up. If you think you're a large, you're an extra large. If you're 2X, you're 3X, etc.
Room to grow in.
Yeah, room to grow, room to relax. It's a look is like a
Schleppy.
like a Leah. Like a Leah's a look for girls. If you think of the late, of course, Leah passed away, but she was very good at oversized look from that time.
So, remember The Graduate, the guy at the cocktail party? Got a word for you. Plastics, right? So what's yours? Schleppy?
I don't know. Yiddish references. Oh, I got a great line. I got this actually from Glenn Shamandy at Gildan, and I asked him if I could steal it from him. He said I could, so now I use it all the time. Everybody just needs to think Yiddish, dress British. That's it,
All right.
Seriously.
All
I
right.
got a good one, though. That's Glenn, and Glenn isn't even Jewish, and he says that. But I will say this.
I'm not Jewish, but I can pass.
You could. Well, you live in New England. Southern New England, so.
My name's Roth, too.
You live
I
in
got it.
Cambridge.
In the
Give me
garment
that.
industry, come on. I can pass. I know the prayers and
Schmata
everything.
industry. Schmata athletics.
Anyway,
I know a good line in this industry is you only get, and I got this from the South Carolina Apparel Manufacturing Association, and when I lived in, those of you who know me well know I lived in South Carolina for 10 years making t-shirts, but you only get what you inspect with respect. You got to keep your nose in your game, whether you're printing, buying shirts, you got to count shit in from your supplier, you got to make sure it's right, you got to touch shit, look at shit, top of production, look at it, compare it to the samples, show it to your client. You only get what you inspect with respect. This is about passion. You got to get your beak in it and get it done and check stuff. If you keep your eye off the ball, you will lose. That's the business we're in, and it's why it's intense, it's athletic, it's deep in, it's not plug and play. That's not what we do in this industry.
amen. We're done.
Amen.
All right. How about a hand for Dov Charney?
Thank you.
A big thank you to Haynes Impressions, and thank you for attending the In Kitchen Shop Talk.
Thank you, Haynes.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Impressions.